and I'm from the South. And I love myself some Planned Parenthood. It is our faith that demands that we stand up whenever legislation is introduced to affect the lives of those who are marginalized, the lives of those who are poor, the lives of those who live in rural America. What our new coming together of these faith leaders will demonstrate is no longer will we allow in the shadow of this Capitol the only voice to be heard are those voices that preach and teach hate, that preach and teach division. We want to tell everybody that we preach diversity, that we preach love, that we preach forgiveness, that we preach compassion, and we will stand in solidarity with Planned Parenthood unto the end. Finally, many of us were watching the vote, or should I say the non-vote, that was about to happen. And we've been trying to figure out, even more than they've been trying to figure out, what happened. Well, I don't know what your faith may or may not be, but I believe in a higher force. And that higher force said, not on my watch. That higher force, that God, that creator, that supernatural said that I will stand so that the poorest of the poor, the most marginalized of the marginalized will have access to health care. And Planned Parenthood will not be defunded, and we're going to continue to fight this fight to ensure that Planned Parenthood will not be defunded because health care should be for all of God's people. And thank you, Planned Parenthood, for all that you do, for all that you stand for, and know that we, the people of faith, you will hear from us. You will hear from us because we love ourselves. So Planned Parenthood.
We are live from a Planned Parenthood rally where Cecile Richards, Planned Parenthood's president, will soon be speaking.
Cecile, how do you feel about that? They're smoking off the floor. It doesn't look like it's even $100 for that.
I believe these lies until a friend needed services at Planned Parenthood, and I was actually able to see the inside of a health center and how willing. I was surprised by the compassion of the staff, the welcoming feeling of the health center, and how willing they were to do and fix our concerns. people in my community gravitated to Planned Parenthood care because we knew the kind of quality, compassionate care they provide. We knew they were lies that weren't true. Planned Parenthood was a lifesaver for us. No question or concern was too small or too embarrassing at our local health center. We could access information and resources without stigma and shame. When we needed condoms and dental dams, they were there. When we needed birth control, they were there. When we needed STI testing and treatment, they were there. When a friend needed compassionate care after she was sexually assaulted, they were there. When I needed someone to affirm my identity as a queer woman and tell me I didn't need to hide, they were there. And yes, when I needed access to safe and legal abortion, they were there. As a first generation college student leaving that small town, and I founded in Generation Action, where I met other young people with similar experiences. Folks from around the state.
Cecile found national TV shows.
We refer for mammograms just like.
How much do you care for poor needy women? How much do you care to help with job training, literacy, housing? Planned Parenthood does none of that.
How do you feel about the fact that your own staff have to cover up what a baby looks like after abortions because they're afraid that their staff is going to quit? That your staff is going to quit because those babies look like babies?
Which one is it?
That she had biceps from crushing the skulls of babies she was aborting. So what do you feel about the fact that you come to this? I'm making news,
This
buddy,
is
right
the
here.
event.
Cecile,
Welcome to America.
how do you feel about that new swanky office that you just opened? Doesn't look like it. Cecile, why are you so afraid of David Delighted? Why are you suing a journalist?
So as you can see, everyone's degraded to fucking children apparently. There's a pushing going on over here. They're chasing the sign over here. I'm sure there's no action on
This is on Facebook Live. Cecile, how do you feel about the fact that your abortion is such a
Cecile, how does it feel not to care for poor and needy women?
It's like we need two of us.
Just check that out.
Cecile, how can you say you're pro-women when you lie to women and tell them that what's inside them is nothing? Cecile, how do you feel about the fact that you say you're a pro-woman organization and abortion has been linked time and time again to premature birth and cancer? Cecile, how do you feel about the fact that you're making over $500,000 a year with our taxpayer dollars? Cecile, what do you feel about the fact you opened this swanky new office today that we saw in Washingtonian? Doesn't look like you need like taxpayer dollars for that.
women of color would be disproportionately affected by any GOP health plan to repeal the ACA, as we can be sure that it will result in rolling back much-needed financial assistance, the decimation of Medicaid, the erosion of essential health benefits, and defunding Planned Parenthood from the Medicaid program. Defunding Planned Parenthood would have devastating long-term consequences for our community. We know that 3 in 10 Latinos are enrolled in Medicaid. If they can't go to Planned Parenthood, where will they go? I stand before you as a past Planned Parenthood volunteer, employee, and a proud Planned Parenthood patient. Planned Parenthood has been there for me many times throughout my life, and I have always received reliable meals. He's got a lot to say about this. He's passionate. I've always received reliable quality care with compassion, support, and kindness. There is no greater care than the care that we receive at Planned Parenthood. In 2014 alone, 23% of Planned Parenthood patients and they really like following these numbers. You must consider that for decades, Latinos have been the most uninsured racial and ethnic group. We have already seen the effects. When Planned Parenthood is defunded. In 2012, when the Texas State Legislature authorized the affiliate rule that barred all Planned Parenthood health centers from receiving state funds, Texas met only 13%
This is a good
for publicly funded contraception. Less than half of the national
This person from top.
They want over there.
That's right. Too often, poverty, lack of transportation, the risk of detention and deportation, a distrust of the medical community, and a belief that no
stalls a baby.
Undocumented immigrants.
Does that make you feel good? Do you work out with those abortionists? Is the abortionist training program?
Everyone else is pro-choice.
Trust me. You couldn't hear me. You understand what I'm saying.
For life-saving care.
So these two pro-life.
Cecile, how do you feel about the fact that you say you're pro-woman?
So now, okay, so we have a new level of ridiculousness.
You do, this is ridiculous.
This woman has put her sign in front of this woman's face, presumably because she's saying something that this woman doesn't want her to say.
That's how you treat women. That's how Planned Parenthood treats women. Tries to shut them up.
You got a speaker up there. It's kind of a, not a lot of pro-life people. Maybe like
We stand with you and we love you. Thank you.
Everybody. Well, one of the reasons there are many that Planned Parenthood is still going so strong after 100 years is great leadership. I am proud to stand with Cecile and all of you, visitors from New York, and my so many New Yorkers who are here. Now, I want you to know that Senate Democrats will stand by Planned Parenthood and fight every attempt to attack women's health in any way. With the initial failure, give yourselves a round of applause. We beat Trump care, which would have hurt women, hurt the elderly, hurt small business, and helped all these other groups. So, we are very, very glad about that. Now,
We're now going to make a strong fight. They want to roll back Title 10 tomorrow. Family planning. 98% of America believes in family planning, and they still want to roll it back. Shame on them. And I am fighting very, very hard to do everything we can to prevent Neil Gorsuch from getting on the bench on the Supreme Court. So we have one great victory. We have 2 more to go. I stand shoulder to shoulder with you. As long as the people are united, we will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people are united will never be defeated. Thank you. God bless God for victory.
So this is the aforementioned sign. That's good, guys. I'm glad you
Thank you, Senator Stewart.
Maybe we could do more of that.
Support the right for women to decide on their own health care based on their own conscience without interference. And Planned Parenthood helps us do that. The Washington-led attacks against Planned Parenthood only serve to hurt the poorest and most rural and unfortunate critical health care that Planned Parenthood provides across the United States. Our Catholic social justice tradition compels us to stand with the poor and the most vulnerable in our society. Planned Parenthood does this every single day.
Like that's somehow supposed to be
Private citizens alike agree. Our laws should support, safeguard a woman's conscience no matter how much money she has, no matter who she works for, no matter who represents her, no matter where she lives. Equality, fairness, treating others with compassion, the right to social justice for everyone. These are Catholic values. These are what Catholics for Choice stands for. These are what Planned Parenthood stands for. And as Catholics, we stand with Planned Parenthood, not in spite of our Catholic tradition, but because of it. We're here with you to tell Congress, Catholics, and all of us stand with Planned Parenthood. To introduce Danielle, who's a patient advocate from our very own Washington, D.C.
Hi guys, want to start by saying that unlike some of the really dynamic patient advocates that you've heard talk earlier today, I'm super old. And I moved to the city in the days before Obamacare. I was a recent college graduate, and my mom couldn't keep me on her insurance because, you know, couldn't do that thing. And I was really naive at the time, and I was like, oh no, there's some sort of program I can get that will help me pay for health insurance. And it took probably 3 people to convince me that even though I only made $800 a month, there was no way I didn't have insurance. And I was shocked because it was really across this country, right? And I had to hope for help until I could afford my insurance. Right? Shame. It seemed unreasonable and Dickensian to me. And I had this really prestigious and super low-paying job, no pathway to affordable insurance, and I just kind of waited the whole way here with my fingers crossed that I didn't get sick. And I knew I needed top steers, and I knew I needed birth control. You know, I had some stuff in my family history, and I didn't want like an intern to sneak up on me and give me a rough time. You know, I think it was really scary.
That is
Clearly not just you.
Well, luckily for me, and I got really scared of that, which was good.
Here, I'm using my phone.
Because for several years before my illness, I got a cold I drank 17. I didn't see a dentist for 5 years, man. I spent my knee, I wrapped it in a bandage, and I prayed. But I knew that my reproductive health was covered because Planned Parenthood had my back. From my first visit to my last, my caregivers were prompt and professional and kind. And if you've ever been a fat woman in a doctor's office, you know that kindness is not a given. So my first few years in DC were rough, and if you live here, you know your first few years are always rough. This is not a place to come where you immediately prosper. It just isn't. And after my fellowship was over, I had years of waiting tables. Then I had a few years with company-paid insurance for the deductibles I couldn't afford, because that's what it used to be like. And I could keep progressing in my career, I could keep grinding, I could keep trying, because I knew that no matter what, Planned Parenthood had my back. I had that thing covered, right? So, as I mentioned before, I'm a long way from the early 20s, right? I have a few doctors now with varying specialties, but I can assure you that the quality of care that I receive at Planned Parenthood is still some of the most compassionate, the most kind, and the most attentive in my lifetime. And that's why I'm here today. And that's why, as soon as I was financially a monthly donor to Planned Parenthood, basic preventative care helps me become a successful member of society. And reproductive health should not be a political football. To the best of their ability in the workforce, then the least, literally the least that we can do is make access to women's care straightforward and affordable. Now, I am eternally grateful for the care that Planned Parenthood gave me. They literally allowed me to plan my parenthood. I've got 2 little ones now.
Great honor to finally introduce the speaker of the evening, President
I think we're done. I mean, she's